Um, Carlos,
Hey, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, man. It's a sick
Oh,
background, by
okay.
the way.
Oh, thank you. Do you want to restart it? I don't like this.
What?
I'm I'm just teasing. Hello,
What?
everybody. Hello. Welcome to The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. I am co-host Carlos.
My name is Ryan.
And this is again The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. Thank you for coming to this week's episode. This week, we have a topic that I think we all have opinions on, good and bad, of course. But I'm not going to get into it just yet. But before that, before our episode this week, I just wanted to shout out to some people who
What?
reached out this week and last
What?
week. Ryan, could you please harmonize a very slow but lovely sound, please?
Okay, just give me a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Shout out to all these people. People I want to shout out because you make me shout. I wanna shout your name, girl.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our first, yeah, oh boy.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. First person I want to shout out is the homie Rhoda Rhodes, a friend of mine who I used to work with back at the company's name that shall not be mentioned, unless of course they're trying to sponsor. Hit us up. But she, we used to work together, and she's remained a loyal and a good friend of mine to this day.
Amazing.
And she actually just listened to a few of our episodes, and she reached out to me with a few of her feedbacks. Promised her that I shout her out. So thank you, Rhodes, and thank you for the support. All the best. You the homie, you know that. But yeah.
Wait.
Oh.
I was gonna say I don't know you, Rhodes, but shout out to you. Thank you. I wish the best upon you and your family. So,
oh, that's so nice. Awkward enough. You actually met her before, but that's okay.
Oh.
Let's move on. Yeah, that's just so grand. Oh no,
I'm sorry. Look,
it's okay. Well, you only met her once, to be honest. So,
I'm sorry.
to be fair, why are you?
It's bad, man. It's fucking. I think that's just rude, man. I'm pretty good with people.
Don't be
terrible.
That guy. Don't be that guy, please. All right, you're fine. You're fine. It was once.
Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
But Rhodes Levy, she's actually on YouTube. She's actually entertaining as hell. She's pretty cool. She's a vlogger, vlogging on her way out to the world. So Rhodes Levy, please check her out. She's dope, So Rhoda, you the homie. The second person I want to shout out is Jasper. The homie Jasper. He actually shouted us out on Instagram today.
Oh, what?
Yeah, man.
Weird.
He had a sponsor. He had a Spotify sponsor there, and he included us in his little shout out.
That's hype,
so Jasper.
Man. That's hype.
So Jasper, if you're listening, homie, thank you so much. Love you. I love you. And keep thank you for the support. Thanks for the shout out, and hope one day have you on the show because he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy, Filipino fellow.
Jasper, I just want to say thank you, brother.
It's Jasper, but I call him Jasper.
Yo, Jasper, aka
Jasper,
aka J Money.
Woo!
Fucking thank you for your support and everything. I wish you the best, and I wish your family the best. So
I'll put that out there. That's a Ryan shout out right there. Bless your heart, Jasper. And last but certainly not least. I had to sigh for this one because this warmed my heart a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a fan of ours who has been with us since the beginning, who has always had the support. Oh, we always had her support, but this one really touched my heart. Last week we had our first fan email, if that counts.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And she literally. It wasn't just like a one-liner. It was literally a full-out essay on topics that we could talk about. I'm not gonna lie, me and Ryan, we were a bit nervous. We thought we were running dry on topics. But then the homegirl here emailed us a list of things to talk about. They're interesting as hell. And the fact that she listens to us and respects our opinion enough, even the thought that two idiots come together to talk about whatever, whenever, and then she wants our opinion on these topics. Sierra, you've been with us since the beginning. We love you. We thank you. And thank you so much for the support and for going out of your way for sending us that email. That touched my heart, warms my heart. Sierra, you're a good person, and I hope that we have your continued support to the end, because that right there, that email right there, that says a lot about you and your character. So Sierra, you the homie, and I hope to have you on the show one day. Bless your heart. Ryan, do you have anything to say for our homie Sierra?
Well, thing about it is I actually speak to Sierra every day, so that's my homegirl.
Can you please step the back and let us see your face as you do this?
Me and Sierra have been friends for, I don't know, man. She's like my older sister, that girl, man. Like she's been there with me through a lot. Like we've been through a lot of, I went to school with her, which is kind of how we know each other. And man, we've been gravy ever since, kind of thing. She's just a great person. And I always get that, I don't know, man. She's just that person. And I know that, we've been through thick and thin together, kind of thing. And like, she definitely listens to us all the time, and she supports us to a level that we can't even imagine that happens to go there. And she listens to us every Friday morning. So I just want to say thank you, Sierra. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being my friend over these years and like dealing with me, because I don't know how you did it. I don't even know how Carlos did it. But thank you, Sierra. I love you as a person, and I hope you and your family the best in life. So
oh,
thank you, Sierra.
My gosh,
you're sweetie.
And wow,
she's actually gonna hear that tomorrow morning when this releases. So
yeah, Sierra, if you're going on your walk tomorrow, your exercise, and you're listening to this, don't be caught by surprise. You deserve this. You earned this. All three of you did.
Yes, thank you to Jasper and Rhodes.
Jasper, y'all the homies. Thank y'all. Love y'all. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the end of our appreciation segment. Now let's go on. Well, it's funny because, with all these shout outs from our friends here on social media, with the Instagram shout out, the Gmail shout out, the YouTube there. It's always nice to connect with our friends that way. Which brings us to our topic today, which is the cancer that is social media and how it must be eradicated and how it's ruining the lives of everybody on earth. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Social media.
That was a great introduction, by the way.
Oh, I mean, fuck social media. Yeah, so we're gonna just start off talking about our history.
Yeah. Give me the history. No, give me the history.
Let's talk about histories. Oh, you want to know how it starts?
I would like to know how you got into it.
Okay.
And like what year, why you got into it, what you got into, and like what you thought about it at that point in time, if you can remember.
I think my very first experience with social media was probably a website called T.Wire. You remember that site?
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was like a Toronto-based social media site where, obviously those from Toronto would be on there, and you could like customize it. This was basically MySpace, but for Toronto. This was before MySpace too, mind you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. I think.
Didn't know that.
I had T.Wire in 8th grade. I don't think MySpace was around it. Yeah. So T.Wire is basically, it's basically the Toronto mandem get together and just like, yo fam, We need to get the shorties. Yo, the shorties are not freaking linking us no more, fam. How are we gonna get the shorties? I don't know, fam. Like these cell phone, there's no phones with them anymore. What are you gonna do? How about we go on the internet and link them shorties? Yo, I'm not trying to send man them the Gmail things, you know. I want to know what's the dealio, what kind of music they into, what are their likes, when's their birthday, you know what I mean? So what am I gonna do? So Mandems got together and then they created this site that is T.Wire, where basically you can customize your space, you know, include the music that you like. You can, when you go to the page, you can actually play music on there.
That's wild.
It's crazy. It's, you know, this was before MySpace, mind you. And the fact that, you know, there's no shout out for this time, the T.Wire should be in the social media hall of fame, all right? Because it was a great time. You know, you had music on there, you posted your relationship status, all before Facebook and MySpace. All right, T.Wire, but for Toronto Mandem. So you know everybody was talking like this, and and you know at this point in time I was living in Thornhill, so I had no idea how to talk like that. I had to actually move back to Toronto to learn the lingo, and I think I'm decent. I think I'm decent, but even still, yeah, T.Wire was probably my first experience. It was the, you know, yeah, it was great. It was, you know, the reason why I signed up for it, because I heard about it when I was in Thornhill, but I had this feeling like I wasn't getting, you know, because I went to Bakersfield, which is the school in Thornhill that I attended. Very Caucasian name, I get it. That's fine. I went there in 7th grade, and basically I was getting along with these folks. I met Ryan there, and then we were, you know, becoming friends with all the, you know, with all these people here. But then I started losing, I felt like I started losing my blackness, right? Like I wasn't being black enough anymore. Like I wasn't, you know, I wasn't paying attention to 106 and Park as often. I wasn't watching too much Rap City, The Basement. You know, I was watching too much of the Family Channel and the YTV, but not enough of what's going on in the world of hip hop. So then I signed up for T.Wire in the 8th grade, and it kept me in the loop. There were so many songs that were bangers that I missed out on for that one whole year, and it was fantastic. Do I regret signing up for that site? Hell to the no, because it was incredible. It was great. And then I remember this one person who went to Bakersfield who signed up for T.Wire. Yeah, kind of messed up my experience, to be honest. You know, the person is cool, but not really that with it. But yeah, it's fine. But yeah, T.Wire, man. Yeah, that was my very first experience. Do you remember your very first site, Ryan? Or first experience?
Before we even get into that,
I
was gonna say I don't even like. I remember T.Wire.
Yeah.
And like, not to be racial or anything, but I remember like a big majority of like black people were on it. It was like a black social media site. And that was kind of like the thing.
Those were the days.
I remember catching it here and there and seeing like a random like Asian person on it or like people from Toronto. But I just remember it being like, oh, it's Toronto based. But when you go onto it, finally, there was like majority of black people on it, which was like real cool at the time. I'm like, man, like as an Asian kid growing up watching BET, like you said earlier, it was like, man, I want to get a T.Wire. I never had one, I don't think, from what I remember. But like it seemed dope. It was a cool concept. It was like all of these small time companies or small time websites like T.Wire just coming up and like creating that, you know, maybe Facebook wannabe, right, or before Facebook, or like that MySpace wannabe. So like that's real cool, man. Like, so before we even get into my experience, why did you sign up for T.Wire?
Well, yeah, man. I thought I was losing, you know, I thought I wasn't with the culture anymore. I wanted to be connected. You know, I kind of missed my friends back the previous school I went to just to see what they were going up to. MSN wasn't doing it for me. For those of you who are too young and are watching YouTube, this is MSN Messenger.
The shit.
This was the shit.
The shit.
This is how you connected with friends back when. All right? This was the real deal. Before texting, before DMing, there was this. The pictures here, they're called DPs. Pause. Don't do that sus nonsense. Don't do that. Display picture is what it stands for. You had your picture, The bottom one represented the computer you're talking from. The top one is the person who you're speaking to. The top one, you and the bottom, you can replace with any picture that really explains how you feel at the moment. It could have been a picture of yourself. It could be anything. I had tons and tons of changes on these DPs. Display picture, and it was great. MSN Messenger, once in a lifetime moment. You had to be there to see it. Great times. Moving along, but yes, T.Wire. It was just it was just a matter of it was in the times. It was popular in Toronto. I missed what was going on there. Moving into a new town where I have no idea how to even proceed. No idea who to be friends with. But I obviously established that back in Toronto, so I figured, you know what, if it was a cool thing to do, I signed up for it because I feel like that's social media, man. It's a thing where it's like, oh man, if all these people are doing it, I should do that too. At the end of the day, we're all sheep, and we should. And the world is just a dark place.
Where'd that come from?
We should all be eradicated.
All right, man. We're gonna end the episode there, man.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I was in a trance there. My god. Wow. Oh, jeez. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ryan, back to you. Do you remember your first experience?
I think I think the Carlos's background's perfect, and for the people that are listening that are old enough to be able to kind of experience MSN for what it was, like the raw communication between people, it was sick. Like it was the original group chat. Like
yes.
Before it was just kind of like one-on-one conversations where it's like, oh, I'd message Carlos and be like, yo, what's up? And then we'd like, I don't even know what the fuck we talk about because we just finished school, go home, go on to
And
MSN,
talk MSN.
and then talk on MSN about like nonsense or like stuff that happened and it was so dramatic.
Yeah.
The sickest thing about MSN, like way back when, was like your status.
Yeah,
other than your DP, so like being able to kind of put like either like quotes from music that you're listening to, whether you're like heartbroken because your girl just broke up with you, you put some shit in the status being like fucking end of the road.
Ryan, is there something you want to?
And then
Ryan, is there something you want to talk about?
Wait. Then they integrated it with Windows Media Player for those who are old enough for Windows Media Player, where it could actually, the song that you were listening to could show up in your status, so long as you allow them to connect. So like mine would always be bumping with like R&B tunes and stuff like that, and like people would know what I'm listening to. But the very first time that like we got into it, I remember being back in my home fucking town, Newmarket, Ontario. So shout out to Newmarket. But my boys were like, Ryan, we got to make you an MSN so like you talk to girls and shit. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then it's the username. So the username was real important, or like your first original email. Carlos, what was your first original email? Was it your name?
No.
Mine wasn't my name. So like, man, I would love to hear what yours was.
What was my original email? I think I still have it though. That's the situation.
What?
Maybe. Do I? No, I definitely changed it.
Because they were like, oh, Ryan, you got to put a real cool email.
Yes.
So like fucking people think you're slick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
think it was like Kago214 because I used to go by Kago. Way back when the streets used to embrace me. I used to go by Kago, so it was like Kago214 something at Hotmail, I think. Yeah. But I think that was my email. What about you? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like something along the lines of like Cambo_kid 92 at hotmail.com.
Oh my god.
Hotmails.com or something like that. But it was something like that just for fun. And I remember being like, this is like the introduction to like that, the aspect of having a different perspective or like a different outlook on who you are as an online person. So like when I used to tell girls my MSN, I'd be like, yo, add Cambo Kid 92 at hotmail.com, and that was like my persona.
and then they look at the paper and like, why does it say hot males, Ryan? What does it say hot males? Hello, and then you're already walked away. And yeah, good. Oh, MSN. Oh boy.
But yeah, MSN was definitely the first great communication between us, like back in public school. And there's definitely, I'm assuming that people used it that were in high school during that time. But yeah, MSN for at least for me, I don't know so much about Carlos, but it was like that first communication that you really got to like speak to somebody
Yeah.
online, which was like
Yeah.
fucking wild at the time.
Oh yeah.
And I remember one thing, just to shout out to, you know, my American cousins. I had cousins and they were like, what the fuck is MSN? I'm like, well, what the hell do you guys use? And they're like, AIM, which was Yahoo. I think it was
no,
Yahoo.
it's AOL.
AOL, yeah, AOL's messaging system. So they were like, Ryan, like you need to get AOL so you can message us from America. I'm like, man, I'm good on all that, man. I'll send you guys mail.
MSN was where it's at. They're missing out, cousin. But that wasn't the only social media experience you had.
Well, I was gonna say, Carlos, what was the thing that me and you both had before Facebook? I don't think I had a MySpace.
That wasn't MySpace. That wasn't MySpace I was referring to.
No, I know I'm not talking about MySpace. I'm talking about ZU.
No, I never had one.
You had one.
I did not.
Get the fuck out of here.
I never had one. As God is my witness, I never had one. I never had one.
65% sure
never
you had one.
Never.
And
never,
I know
never.
who I can go ask to know if you had one.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
You can call him. Call her right now.
I'm gonna go ask her.
Text her. Go ahead.
I'm gonna expose you.
I promise you, I never had one. I never had. I would remember if I had one. I looked at the site. I'm not gonna front, but then it said Asian online community. I'm like, no, thank you.
So, for those who probably had or knew about T.Wire, there was
a counterpart.
A counterpart.
Would it be a counterpart?
So the thing about Zup, for those who know what I'm talking about, there was
Is it ZUUP or ZUPP?
ZUUP.
Yeah.
So ZUUP. But before that, there was Asian Avenue.
Ooh.
So for those people who don't know about, you know, T.Wire and like Zup, there was a thing called Asian Avenue where it's pretty much the MySpace, but it was strictly to like, and I'll use this word like, but for Asian people, like really only Asian people signed up for it. So Asian Avenue, you had people messaging each other from like Toronto, and I don't know if it was only Toronto. I think it was, but like majority of just Toronto people. Asian Avenue.
Oh, okay.
But like I learned about it from my older cousins. And I'm like, oh man, Ryan, like all kinds of girls on Asian Avenue, like this and that. So there was that, and then eventually, when like back in grade 8, there was Zup, or like early high school, I think it was like grade 9.
Yep.
And that was a predominantly Asian kind of MySpace community where like Asian people from Toronto were all creating these fucking HTML websites for themselves, promoting themselves.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of play the music like Carl said earlier, but like, and then being able to message each other. And that was like the first create yourself a profile, show the best parts of yourself on this thing so you can get messages from other people that you have no idea who the fuck these people are.
Yeah. Have you have any stories or randos that ever connected with you?
Oh yeah, of course. I had tons. Tons.
Good randos? Good randos or bad randos? Or
okay, so I'll tell a quick story and shout out to D-True. D-True, all my boys know who D-True is and he knows who he is. So D-True, and her nickname was Bubbles. I think that was her Zup name. It was like Bubbles _ something or something like that.
All right.
So I think I posted a picture of myself on this Zup thing, and Zup had this like functionality where you can post a picture of yourself and then people will like likes in Instagram or like views on Instagram or YouTube. You can go comment on somebody's picture and be like, oh, you're mad cute, or like, man, you look good, like this and that. So like I posted a picture of myself, fucking, I'm not gonna, you know, front. But like people being like, oh, like, you know, this guy's mad cute, like this and that. And then I got this one message from this girl, her name was Bubbles. and she was like, "Oh, like you're real cute," and then she like I guess the equivalent to DM. So she DMs me and goes, "Man, like Ryan, like maybe we should talk. Like I think you're really cute or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we're like messaging back and forth. And this is in grade like 8, so I'm trying to front,
Oh,
thinking I'm like swanging.
yeah. Oh,
but but I was
yeah.
thinking like I'm real cool, whatever, like
Yeah.
that. And then she's like, "Yo, let's meet up." And I'm like, "Man, I'm in grade. I don't remember. I think it was grade 8 or grade 9." And I'm like, "Man, like, do you meet up with people that's fucking stranger danger? Fucking don't take candy from a stranger kind of person."
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I met up with her. We went on like
Oh,
I guess like a date, and
yeah.
she was like 2 years old. I think she was like a year older than me or 2 years older than me or something like that at the time. But yeah, but we went
So,
on a
wait.
date, got bubble tea, walked around the mall,
Of course. Well, I mean, her name is Bubbles for a reason.
and then fucking that was it. I
Yeah.
never saw her after that kind of thing. But
Damn.
that was the weird part about the introduction of social media. Like I didn't know the term social media at the time because it wasn't really keyed. But that was like the first experience and being able to kind of like get into that concept of building a persona, being somebody that you're really not sometimes. I'm gonna get into this afterwards, but
same.
Zup was definitely the introduction to like post a picture of yourself of your W's and not your L's. And see what flack you get. And then like depending on how many comments I got or how many girls thought I was cute, it really put into
inflated your ego.
Yeah, exactly. The ego really came out in that kind of case, and that was like the worst part about growing up. I didn't really know the difference. So like now that I go back and reflect on it, it was like, man, I wish I didn't have to go through that, but I guess it's a learning experience in itself. But me and Carl's definitely gonna get into depth afterwards, but that was the first off social media. So I don't even know if that website's still up. Do you know if T.Wire's still up?
I checked earlier. It definitely isn't.
Oh, okay.
I could check Zup. Let's see if Zup is still up. Zup.
That was wild, man.
Oh, Zup. Much like Asian Avenue. That's the very first thing it says. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's up. It has a Facebook page though.
That's wild.
Talking about Zup. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't have Zup, unfortunately, you just had to be there. Zup. Shout out to Zup and all the Asians and non-Asians around that website. I wasn't one of them, but apparently rumors are swirling that I was, but I wasn't. Do you think I was? Like, comment, and subscribe to find out, to see if I was. Please let us know. Let us know your opinion. Do you think I had a Zup? I didn't. But
I'm gonna be doing some side research on whether you had one or not.
Hey, go ahead.
And the next episode that we do, I'm just gonna throw it in there.
Oh,
so
you're gonna provide the research, I imagine, the proof.
Well, I would love to go back and like that's.
Can you imagine? Can you?
I would love to go back and
like
look at exactly. I would love to go back and like look at exactly what we posted.
I'm okay. I'd rather not. Oh my god, I'd probably just like cry, just like, what were you thinking? I posted some foul ass shit. I am. Oh my god, I was a mess when I was a child, but I'm better now. Now we move on to, I believe we move on, or remember y'all, we were talking about this before, but High Five was a thing, and MySpace also. I never had MySpace, but I did have High Five. Those High Five was pretty, that was pretty whatever. But yeah, it was basically, when I signed up, I think it was like between High Five and MySpace at the time, but obviously MySpace was the victor. Never had MySpace though. That was a very popular site though. Oh my god. Who can Tila Tequila was a pretty big thing on
oh yeah, huge.
Oh boy.
Huge. Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy Tell 'em was
Tell 'em.
Yeah, he was a pretty big deal. Now Soldier Boy Tell 'em is he's still pretty popular now. He's just telling people that he was the first rapper to do this and that. But he's still pretty popular. Tila Tequila made a left turn though. She joined a not the KKK, but she is a full out like racist.
What?
Oh yeah, man. Like, dude, she is like full fledged, like Nazi symbols on everything. Like,
What?
oh yeah, saying Heil Hitler
Wow,
on
that's actually
her
fucked
Twitter.
up.
Oh, dude, crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's gotta be
She's
drugs.
or social media. Social media went into her life. She got all this stardom and fame. She had this reality show, and then she went on the whole racist binge. That's what it does to you, Ryan. You take your popularity, it maximizes you, turns you crazy, and then tells you that black Asians, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, she's Asian herself, so I don't know what the hell she's thinking. And white, no, not even Mexicans,
Judaism.
Jews, Judaism, and all these people are the devil, apparently. But yeah, Tila Tequila, hope you get better and you realize your mistakes. You slept with a black man before, so don't go on like you are a saint. Don't go on with you a saint. All right, you were practically married to a dude. All right,
That's wild.
yeah, get it together, Tila. Like Hitler would approve of your thing. Like you're Asian, Tila. What are you doing? Get it together,
Carlos,
Ryan.
what about so everyone? I'm sure everybody, not everybody, because we know people who probably didn't have one, but before that, we were talking about like Zup, T.Y. What was, well, definitely the next biggest thing was Facebook.
Yes,
So, like, with Facebook coming in, what age did we get into it?
I remember vividly.
Why did we
signing up
get
for
into it?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
And tell me your experience with Facebook.
I was peer pressured to sign with to Facebook. I was to sign up. I didn't want to for a very long time. I think from 8th grade I was asked to sign up to Facebook. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be chilling on T.Y or I'm listening to some new bangers on there, so that's cool. And then I think it was second semester in grade 9. I just got fed up. I was in class, just like there's these two girls. I don't even remember their names, but they're like, "Oh, you have Facebook?" I'm like, "No, I don't use Facebook." They're like, "What?" So yeah, obviously I never talked to them again after, but 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 yeah, I got that was the moment I realized like, damn, these hotties are on Facebook. I need to sign me up. Need to sign me up and join. So I signed up and joined. I enjoyed it for like all my years in high school. Then had me a love-hate relationship after I graduated with Facebook. Deleted it a few times. But as of today, I actually deleted my Facebook officially, so I haven't returned for a few years now. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Carlos Jose, and I was a Facebook addict, but I'm clean now. Yeah. But yeah, Facebook. You know what? I had Facebook. There was good moments. There was a lot of stuff I did on Facebook that were good. Obviously we set up trips with our friends on this Facebook.
Yes.
There were events for school that we signed up for. There were events for other parties out in college that I looked at for Facebook. I got my news from Facebook for years. Just whether it be local, international, or even what's going on with my friends. Yeah, Facebook was that source for me, really. There was a good and then there was a bad. I just got sick of it eventually. It was starting to get like toxic with the statuses and, everyone critiquing every little thing. I'm like, okay, I don't need this in my life. So I deleted it, moved on with my life. And same thing with Twitter. I had Twitter for a bit, but I rarely tweeted. I could care less. But I think the best experience I had with Twitter was I got a message from Just Blaze, the producer. He's probably the most famous person.
Wow.
I got a message
That's
from.
wild.
Yeah, in the hip hop community, that's a pretty big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, he produced the public service announcement by Jay-Z, which is an all-time classic song. That's just one of many of his classic songs. Just Blaze
No
is,
flakes.
yeah, Just Blaze is just a legend in the game. So that's just one of many of his songs. But please, ladies and gentlemen, just look up the history of Just Blaze. He's been there. He's worked with the best. He's worked with your favorite rappers. Let's leave it at that. Let's I'm gonna list a few. Kanye he's worked with. Drake he's worked with. I believe he worked with J. Cole. I don't know. But still, Just Blaze is up there. This is a pretty big deal to me. It means a lot. So Just Blaze, if you eventually listen to this, thank you. You made my Twitter experience. But aside from that, Twitter is a bunch of bullshit because it got all toxic and whatnot. So I rarely use Twitter near the end there. So I'm just like, I'm gonna get rid of it. So I deleted Twitter, and I've been free for a few years. My name is Carlos, and I was a Twitter addict, and now I'm free. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The two biggies in social media I no longer have. Currently, I only have Instagram. I only use it for memes. I could care, if you're listening and you want me to like your pictures of your family and whatnot. I'm sorry, I only use it for memes. But if you can like our pictures and comment on the blank page, that would be greatly appreciated. We'd appreciate the support.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
This whole episode, and like you probably already can hear it from me, I'm not a huge fan of social media whatsoever.
What?
But now posting shit on Instagram before this podcast specifically is fucking weird, man.
It's weird.
It's like
Why?
super weird.
Why?
It just doesn't feel natural. It's like a weird feeling. It's like, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Why I don't mean to use the words like giving in, but it's like, man, I avoided this shit for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then now just the way that like the world works, it's like you almost have to have an Instagram in relation to be able to kind of build anything in relation to art, in relation to podcasts, in relation to your own personal opinion. You have to be, what's that word?
A bitch to sign up for it. Fucking Instagram.
But like alive on social media is the word I want to use, I guess.
Is it alive though? Because technically speaking, I think people invest a lot of their time is what is a matter of it. So I wouldn't say alive, but I would say they invest time because alive implies that you're there and you're putting your life into it. However, it's not really putting you, because most of these Instagrammers that I see, the popular ones that is, I'm just gonna get into it. Fuck it, I don't care. That some of these popular people are putting more so fictional things about their life to imply that their life is good, and they're posting a lot of it. So now they're just living a lie. They're almost like living a lie, from what I'm seeing. Not all of them, most of them. So they would post that they're living in this mansion, but we don't know the deal, what's going on behind the scenes. They could be behind in rent.
Yeah.
They these cars that they're saying that they bought outright when they could have been leased. These expensive meals that they're getting at all these goddamn restaurants, but it's on their daddy's credit card. All right. I think it's scary that people put so much effort to live, to live through this facade, to present themselves as something that they're not. I think there's only a select few, and there's billions of people on Instagram, and it's sad that only a select few truly are, expressing, not expressing, but more so they are legit showing what's going on in their life. Because I know that Instagram is just, it's just expressing what's happening in the moment in their life and connecting with others. And it's just a really, really sad thing to see that, the people, the more successful you are on that site, the more of a lie you're portraying to get attention. Now it's even gone beyond that. So instead of just like taking a picture of what you got, they're enhancing themselves to make sure they look better in the pictures, with all the surgeries and they're really doing things that are affecting their entire lives simply just for a moment to upload to pictures with all this filtering and all this. They're taking so much effort to erase what's real to, get likes for things that are fake. So that's my little negative spiel for Instagram there. I love the memes though. Love the memes. Memes are.
To play devil's advocate from somebody
Uh-oh.
who's not social media fucking there at all,
Yeah.
not alive on it, but I and to bring this conversation up, I had a conversation with somebody I've known for a long time about social media, and I got to see him, and pretty much we talked about the concept of like building relationships, being able to connect with certain people that are from afar, like you said earlier, news, keeping yourself in current events, being able to kind of join groups, meet people that have the same interests as you that potentially aren't in your vicinity or
Right.
proximity.
Right.
There's a lot of pros.
Yes.
There's a lot of one of the great things that I hear about a lot is that people promote their businesses the way that we promote our podcast.
Which you should like and subscribe, and please follow along, and send us messages on.
There's
That was a cheap plug.
There's that, and there's a lot of great to social media that we happen to have. I think it's a really great tool that as society that we've created to be able to kind of come together and connect together in relation to certain interest. I can message somebody from across the world. I can message my boys out in Edmonton, family, this and that. It kind of brings you together in that kind of case.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think that social media happens to hurt our society more than it does good. In relation to be able to kind of like put any sort of benefit out there. I think that it hurts, psychologically. I think that it ruins certain people. Like I've read studies on how during the time period of like when Facebook started coming up and like Instagram started coming up, suicide rates in teenage girls is rising.
Oh yeah. To
this day probably. And I'm not a fucking scientist, I'm not an economist, I'm not that like a specialist in anything.
But go on record, I am not either.
But to be able to hear that concept where it's like certain things like the psychology of like getting likes or like having to post the right thing, cyberbullying is a big thing. All of that takes in consideration of like what's going on with our society. So yes, we do happen to have those pros in relation to social media. And if you are using it to the tools that I guess it was supposed to be put as,
right,
the cons that happens to come with on our society are way worse, I would think, that it does. So like even just to lose the lives of cyberbullying and like the people that happen to kind of like take their own life just due to stuff that they're seeing on social media, or they're not posting enough, or they don't have like a big enough ego, or whatever it is that's ruining like our younger children in relation to social media. It's like that shit's not worth it. Man, I'll send you a fucking owl with my note in it. I'll give you a call. I'll look your phone number up in a phone book.
Right.
Instead of having to DM you,
page you,
fucking whatever it may be. All of that stuff is still accessible. You can still connect with certain people outside of social media. Yeah, it's more efficient in relation to like efficiency in society, but like the cons that it happens to put on certain people isn't worth it, in my opinion. I even, like, to be perfectly honest, I hate having a fucking Instagram for even our podcast, but yet we have to have it just to be able to kind of reach a certain amount of audience.
Which we would very much like a like, subscribe, and comments in our YouTube and Instagram pages. So please do so, even regardless of how me and Ryan feel. We love you. Go ahead.
But aside from that, it doesn't do our society enough justice, I would say, to be able to kind of input that onto our children. Our children are getting access to it at an earlier age. My little brother at 13 is building a bigger ego than I did, without having to have social media, and just because of the accessibility to iPads, to internet, to technology, which is great in itself.
Because it makes life a little easier.
It does.
But
it happens to ruin, certain people in relation to that, which is I would say a big community. Like we have the kids are fucking like my little brother's gonna run an office one day or make choices in politics or he's gonna be taking out garbage. I don't know exactly what he's gonna be doing when he's older, but it's like we're building these little kids in relation to like building our society, and then social media happens to be ruining that by giving them an inflated ego, by having to worry about things like likes and certain views and angles that they happen to have to look in certain pictures, and false friends, building that kind of false relationship that they happen to have with people that are strictly online,
Right.
as opposed to the face-to-face stuff that me and Carlos had when we were younger, and even the generations before us that didn't even have internet.
Right.
Like that in itself is, I personally think, ruining like our younger children. And like even for guys my age, I still know guys that front, like Carlos said, on Instagram, that only show their wins instead of their losses, and their losses
Right.
are non-existent. The amount of money that they happen to post on Instagram, it's like, man, like who are you fronting? Who are you trying to impress?
Like, bro, you just asked me for a few bucks last week, man. What are you doing?
That, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
those kind of content. It's like those really ruin the individuals that we happen to have. It's, man, you could be doing something so much better, or like something so much better with yourself, or like, and it's like, who am I to say like you want to live your life like that? Because I'm not Buddha.
Oh boy.
But it's like, man, like do your thing. But I just feel like that shit's ruining you, man. It's like you could be doing so much better for yourself. But that's just me. That's the reason why I don't have social media. You can't catch me on that shit. It's not worth it, man. It's really not.
Damn.
It's like, man, if you
Damn,
really
man,
want to
man.
contact me, it's like, man, we'll mail each other. I'll go out and buy a postcard. Tell me your address and we'll postcard each other, kind of thing, for the rest of our lives. It's like that shit's more important to be able to kind of build long-lasting relationships instead of these like false likes that you happen to get from a click. It's just not worth it to me.
That was powerful. That was powerful.
Sorry for the rant, but
no, that's what the show is about. Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. The world is just filled with answers. They are providing us with the questions, but it's our job to provide the answers. Henceforth, the blank. We are getting all these hints and clues, but we need to solve it, people. Let's do this. Social media. Anyways, let's talk about. So, going off of what you said, it reminded me of. Have you seen the movie The Social Dilemma on Netflix?
no, I haven't actually. But shout out to my roommate, Ash. She told me to go watch that, but I did not fucking watch it yet. So
You'd love that documentary, man.
what is it about? What is it about?
Basically, it's about they're speaking with former employees of the big social media companies, your YouTubes, your Facebooks, Google, Twitter, and how they quit the company because of due to their ethics, how they realize that due to the cultural and political impacts that they had, it's just basically they due to ethics that the person has, they're just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with all that. And so they provided examples of the manipulation tactics that these companies would use to retain their what is it, their users. So there was one, because there's a split between dramatization, so there's actors, but then they actually have like interviews with these actual people. So in one dramatization example, they brought up an example how a kid, a teenager, and his sister were at home using they were glued to their phones on social media, and basically the mom got sick of it, so they're like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take your phones. If you can go a week without using your phone, then I don't know, then we'll do something special. And the kids are like, all right, I can do that. You're on. And so they brought up this idea that basically, since the kid has not been on social media for a few days, they would bring up the fault. So usually this kid has a girl that he likes. And basically, he would like a lot of his pictures, and he would speak with this girl. And so a tactic to bring him back into the social media was he would get this notification of what this girl is up to. So he got this notification that this girl is now in a relationship with someone else. And the dude's like, oh shit, no. So he opened up the phone, he lost the bet, obviously, and he looked into it more, looking at the pictures, and yeah, that's basically the manipulation tactics that that these companies pulled, and that's why these people who've participated in this documentary, they quit because it just went against their ethics, that people are being tricked into using these sites. And so, and that's just one of the many things that they discuss, and how they want to, battle against stuff like that, because it's ruining the way we operate. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's Social Dilemma in a nutshell. So if you guys haven't watched it, please check it out on Netflix. It's actually really good watch right there. It also reminds me of Social Network. Have you seen the movie The Social Network?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Great
movie.
Great movie. It's basically how they stole Facebook from those twin Olympic rower twins. To be fair, would you really trust a website from these two dudes that are rowing boats for a living? Dude, I'd rather trust a site from a freaking nerd that actually went into the research instead of some two dudes that are Olympic rowers. Yeah, whatever. Either or. Incredible movie. Great movie. Justin Timberlake, he had our hearts
He's
with
in
the
that?
music. Are you insane? Yes. How do you not remember that?
Man, I gotta go watch back that movie, man.
Dude, you're crazy. Do you not remember that? You don't remember him in the movie at all?
Oh man, I
And
remember
then,
Brenda's song.
Jeez. Jeez. You don't remember Justin Timberlake in that movie though?
Jeez.
You don't remember Justin
No,
Timberlake?
man,
How he got caught?
I gotta
How
go
he
watch
got
that
caught
movie.
stealing Facebook, and then right before he gets arrested, he goes into that dance number.
What?
Don't be so quick to arrest me. I'm gonna rock your body. But yeah, man. Yeah, Justin Timberlake was in the movie. You should really rewatch it, man. That is a great movie. Social Network, man. And you know what? Oh
no, go ahead. Tell me.
You know what made it social media a bit confusing? I just realized, the whole like shit, where you like something. To my knowledge, well, okay, dude, you went on, you had a Facebook, dude. You know when you like or thumbs up something, obviously.
I don't even remember if liking was part of the era that I had on Facebook.
No,
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, to my knowledge, liking something means it's something you approve of and that that you like. Not to use the word but obviously, if you like something, yeah, that's something you approve of. That's something you wish to, like, oh, that's nice, But my thing is, the actor Chadwick Boseman, when they announced his death on Twitter, at the time, I don't know if it still holds the record, but it was the most liked tweet in history.
Damn.
So my thing is, if like when I see that it's the most liked, that's like, oh, so do people want that, or like do they? So that's confusing to me. That's like
super.
Yeah, that's like, wait, hang on. So I'm just realizing that I don't know if either people are really sad that he died or they truly want someone else to play the Black Panther. And I'm just like, I don't get it. So yeah, that really, the whole liking thing, like, can you not include like a dislike? Why is everything like why?
Because I think disliking would hurt too many people's feelings.
Well, that's the issue with this generation. Anyway, they're too sensitive because everything is all nice. Maybe that played a part why the sensitivity rate is so high right now, because there's no likes or dislikes. Sorry, we need more dislikes. That's what we need. Yes, we narrowed it down. More dislikes, social media. Get it together. That's what we need. I don't know, because to me, when I see that that Chadwick Boseman's death is the most liked thing, I'm imagining a bunch of racists just like, just oh yeah, that Chadwick Boseman died today. Oh buddy, oh boy, oh this has been the greatest news since I've ever heard. No more Black Panther for you there, America. We're going now. Let's get the White Panther started. Who's with me? Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, that's what I don't know, man. That's weird. That's weird to me. Let's get the dislike thing going. But like world, some of these online people need to be humble. YouTube has a dislike button. There's no harm in that, right? Like let's get more dislikes, folks. Come on, you need to be humble. Some of these people need to be humble a little bit. That's all I gotta say. Ryan, you had a question or a comment?
I was gonna say, now that we old,
yeah,
28, 29,
yeah.
Carlos, what social media do you have currently, and why do you have it? And like, what's your perspective on having it at this age?
As of today, I have YouTube. I have Instagram. I still have Neopets. Bro, that Neopet's not gonna take care of himself, fam. What are you crazy? Are you kidding? So I'm just gonna give off. I'm just gonna give off my shit to some little brat that doesn't even know. Yeah, fuck them kids. Anyways, yeah, that's those are the only sites that I currently have. Twitter and Facebook I deleted. Never had MySpace. Instagram, I'm realistically I'm only on there for the memes and news. That's literally why I'm on there. I don't pay attention to too much of the whole politics of what's going on. But I mean, yeah, like I get news as to what's going on in the world, but in terms of like political views on what people think on, I'm trying not to get involved in too much of the toxicity in the world. But yeah, that's as of today, those are the only social media I have.
And why do you have them?
I have YouTube because I mean it's YouTube. I mean, come on. That's where I watch videos. That's where I get my, that's how I get my tutorials on, what's going on in the streets. You know what I mean? When I watch some music videos, that's YouTube. I mean, like there's no harm. I'm not really watching the comments, but I do, I have my channels that I watch. Long Beach Griffey, that's Ryan loves them freestyle battle things. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, or if you don't, check out Long Beach Griffey. Ryan loves them freestyle videos. I just want to put that on record. And Instagram, yeah, that's mainly again for memes. And I've seen some funny ass memes on that site. Oh my, it's hard. And also I also liked a lot of vintage pictures of like things that are going on in the 90s, or even there's current pictures that I really like. I'll like it. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a person, what they're doing in their life. It's like a picture of like a sunset or something I would like though. So yeah, that's what I currently have. What about you? What do you have any current sites that you're on?
Other than the podcast stuff, so our Instagram for the podcast, our YouTube for the podcast, we have to post these videos.
Yeah.
Reddit. I think Reddit's really good.
Oh, I do have Reddit. My fault.
I'm on Reddit a lot, and I think Reddit's the old school internet way that we kind of went about, like having those forums, and you have a specific forum that you go to, and you guys all talk about that one specific topic. So I think Reddit. I say Reddit's probably my biggest social media thing. But other than that,
my issue is I don't use Reddit enough. I don't like read. I haven't used it a lot in a while, but no, Reddit is premier because there's actually people with logic in there, yes. And their opinions actually truly do make sense. And if there's a topic that you enjoy, you just search it up, and there probably is a group about it, and you can just discuss it. So you don't have to really be exposed to everything that you dislike, or it's your world in Reddit, and it's what you make it in Reddit. You know what I mean? Buddy, you don't have to sneak.
I would like to go back and activate my old Facebook, because I had Facebook back in like high school.
I'm okay with that.
And I probably deleted it in like grade 12. Or something like that, and I was just like, man, fuck this. But I would like to go back just to be able to kind of have that nostalgic feel, like all the pictures and stuff like that we took back in high school, and like that kind of stuff, I think that social media is probably really, really good for being able to kind of like, go back and like look at all the pictures, like who you were as a person back then, the reflection of who you were as a self, and like who your friends were, and like who you connected with, and like I'm sure like I'm really big on like relationships, so it's like be able to kind of see like relationships you have with people back then. Like I think it's great. And like the great thing about social media is that it holds all of that together, right? It holds those old pictures together, and it's like that's probably the only reason why I would want to go back to it. But
You'd
other than
probably
that,
delete it. Delete it.
fuck social media.
Oh,
Shit ain't cute.
Damn.
Ain't cute.
Damn.
But other than that, no offense to you if you do happen to have it. I wish you the best in life, and I wish you and your family the best in life. But
Oh my god.
other than that, fuck social media.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
what I'm
Wow.
saying.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, social media had its good and bad, I guess. I mean, yeah, like to me personally, I don't know. I see a lot of bad in it, but I mean, there is some good in it too. It's obviously it's how in terms for me, it's connecting with my friends, people who I truly do talk to. There are obviously some friends in my accounts who I don't talk to as much, but I mean, I don't. I guess I don't know. Like for people who have like all these followers or friends lists, I don't know if it's just the numbers to them or that's also a sad thing. But there is a lot of funny that came out of social media. It's just a matter of what. Also going back to the whole confusion thing, it's just the way we interpret things. So that's why I had to delete Twitter. That was also another reason. It's just the tweets that go on. Like I can't tell whether it's either sarcasm or it's real or what they truly mean by it. I'll bring an example from Facebook. I remember scrolling through, and one of my friends on my list, I'm not going to say this person's name due to embarrassment purposes, they said on their Facebook post, just strictly the status for Facebook is said, and it just strictly said, "I love BBC." And I'm just like, oh, uh-oh. So obviously, me being who I am, I had to take a look into this to figure out what does that mean. Am I, do I have to, am I being confused here? Like, do I have to slide in the DM just to double check? But and then looking back on the person's post, they were referring to the British Broadcasting Channel, because this person was a big fan of the shows there. And I was just like, oh, I'm like, oh no. And so I looked at and this person had so many likes from this, obviously from most of them being trolls. And there was just tons of comments just like, ooh, yeah, that's not a good idea. You should delete this. There's a lot of people that are going to misinterpret what you mean there. But yeah, the misinterpretation of social media, that was a big clusterfuck there. And I remember, do you know the basketball player Malik Beasley? You know how there's whole controversy with him because he's banging Scottie Pippen's wife?
I heard it from you guys, yeah.
Yeah. So I know we were making a group joke in the group about it. I'm just like, wow, he's cheating, huh? And because Malik Beasley is a basketball player in the NBA currently, and he has a wife and child, and he's currently cheating on them with, I don't know currently, but he cheated with Larsa Pippen, I think her name is. And I just, for jokes, for some reason, I sent him a quote from the Bible or a verse from the Bible. Which that tells them that God is against cheating. I haven't got a response, so Malik, if you eventually listen to this, please respond to me because I haven't gotten. I remember I screenshot it, sent it to the group, and that got a good laugh. So I like that part. That was nice. And yeah, that was a funny part. I also won a cell phone on social media. That was nice.
What?
Yeah, man. I entered a contest and I won a cell phone.
Oh, that's hype.
Yeah, man, that was years ago. I never used a cell phone because it wasn't with my plan. Because I'm not with the big companies. Although if they're trying to sponsor you boys, hit us up. But yeah, that's a little bit of the good that I have for social media. But other than that, boo.
So Carlos,
boo. Yeah.
Last thoughts. What are your last thoughts on You gonna give something that's our listeners, the people that are listening, what's like their last thoughts on social media, and what you gotta tell them?
Social media has its good, has its bad, but it's at the end of the day, it's how you use it and what you can interpret from it. Social media can be toxic, can be fantastic. It can be many things. At the end of the day, social media, at the end of the day, it's your name on the social media account, and it's what you make of it. So, folks, I tell you, you do have the option to stay away from the toxicity. Do it. Make social media your platform. Don't if you're going to express something, obviously you need to expect people to disagree. Not everything is going to be about you being right all the time. Social media is a platform to truly express yourself on the World Wide Web, to connect with millions, billions of people around the world. Do I think it's a cancer? Personally, yes. Do I think it's disgusting at times? Personally, yes. Do I think that the world would be a better place without social media? Personally, yes. And with that being said, don't forget to follow The Blank on Instagram and YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Guys, we really need the support. We need to really get up off our feet. Let's get this rolling. Let's get The Blank out there. We need the world to know. Other than that, yeah, fuck social media. Ryan, do you have anything else to say to you?
I think my last thought on social media, and if you listen to the full episode, you definitely know how I feel. But
Ben's like rolling his eyes like crazy for all you.
Other than that, it's use it for the right tools. I think there's definitely a huge benefit in relation to what society can be able to use with social media in relation to, getting news out there to the masses, be able to connect with certain people that you may not be able to connect with on a regular day basis. There's tons of people out there in that world kind of thing, and you have the ability to use it to your advantage, realistically, whether it's promoting your business or being able to connect with people that you never thought you could connect with, reaching out to family that you haven't seen in a while. There's certain tools that you happen to have there, and I think those are great parts of it, but it's the cons that happen to outweigh the pros. Watch out for that kind of stuff, because really that's just not worth your time. Fucking, I hate to say it, but life is too short to be able to kind of stress about fucking how many likes you're getting on a fucking post, or man, how good you look in this sunlight, or to get the right picture down. It's like, man, all that shit don't matter, to be honest with you. So use it for the right rules and just keep being you. I think that's another thing. Don't let that shit change you.
It's also weird about, when celebrities die and then they get all these new followers. Like, bro, what are you expecting? What tweet could you possibly be expecting from this person just died? They died. What post are you waiting for? Why are you following them now?
Super weird.
Anyway, that's another thing about social media. Get your shit together. But please follow and subscribe to us. We love you all. All right.
I was gonna say, hit us up on Instagram, because we happen to have the social media outlet. Hit us up on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Hit us up on Gmail the way that Sierra did. So thank you, Sierra.
Thank you.
But if you disagree with us,
please, let us know.
Please let us know. I would love to.
We are not sensitive. We are not sensitive.
Hit us up on those outlets. I would love to hear from you.
And also, do you think we need to get TikTok? Apparently, TikTok is it. I don't want to, but if we have to, I don't know. But if you think we should, folks, let us know.
Carlos is our social media ambassador. So I'm not part of that.
Yeah, that's anywho, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is The Blank. Fill it in.